Hi, it's Olivia, and Happy New Year, and let's talk 2020. I know that there's a long list of adjectives to describe the year, but I'm going to focus on uncertain because that is especially what stuck with me last year. If I graduated and I could never imagine what life after graduation would look like. Oh, there was just so much from last year in every way, but I'm happy to be here. We've made it. And I'm going to talk about the good and the bad of the books I've read, of like kind of reflecting on Booktube and looking ahead. Before I go forward, I wanted to talk about Jesse's TBR cards, Jesse from Bow Ties and Books. I realize I've never mentioned it on this channel, but I collaborated with them to do the art for all 53, I always forget how many there are, 53 or 54 cards of this deck, and it's basically a TBR game. And it's supposed to help you diversify and make your reading more inclusive with some really fun prompts. And so, for example, there's the Black Girl Magic card, and it's to read a science fiction with the black protagonist. And then there's also like random challenge prompts like speak. So read a book featuring a talking animal. And I just read The Knife of Never Letting Go, and that actually is a perfect pick for this card. But I just want to share that it's been really neat to see people tagging me in the pictures with them because they've already sold a large number of these decks, and I believe they're on vacation right now, and the shop will open up again later this month. But yeah, I just wanted to highlight that. So this is what I will call a variety year, meaning there was such a range of genres that I read, and if you watch that self-help video I did a few months back, that was a big portion of my reading nonfiction, self-help, and personal development books. I also read a number of romance books and continued reading my picture books and started a bunch of science fiction and fantasy. There are so many different like writing styles that I was exposed to, so I just mentioned The Knife of Never Letting Go. That was so uniquely written with, you know, in that world you can hear everybody's thoughts, and it's through the mind of a 13-year-old boy, and it was just really uniquely written, as well as books like Chemistry that I read sometime a couple months ago. This has no chapters. The 5th season, which was in second person point of view. Like, I just felt like I was exposed to a lot of variety this year, so I liked that. Also, and this is both good and bad, I started a bunch of series, but I don't know if there is one series that I finished this year. Not one. And so that's gonna be, I'll talk about that looking ahead. Just off the top of my head, I mentioned the 5th season, I read Annihilation, The Rage of Dragons, Rosewater, like all of these, Mistborn. I'm in the middle of reading The Well of Ascension. I just didn't finish any of these series, and that is very unsatisfying to me, and I would like to fix that this year. Now I'm gonna talk about YouTube/Booktube. First and foremost, I want to talk about closed captions. Because that was one of my goals, and I feel like I did great with this goal. I am so happy that I've reached a point where my videos don't go up unless the captions are up. I just kind of think of it as part of the editing process now, and I'm happy about that. The only thing is I still haven't made my way backwards to my old videos and captioning those, but I'm happy to know that all my videos are captioned now, and it's also been very nice to see more people, more creators captioning their videos. That is just something I hope to continue to see. And YouTube has not exactly made it easy. They keep announcing things related to their captions. It's frustrating, but it's still doable, and I will continue to do it. But now for the, yeah, I'll just say bad. Well, I hesitate to say bad because I worry I'll come off ungrateful, but let me talk about June for a second. The impact that was felt across the board by so many Black creators in the, you know, as a result of the social justice movement in June was astounding. I'll include like a graph. I'll go to the analytics, and there'll be something here that editing Olivia is smarter about. Basically, I, like a lot of other creators, experienced a massive spike in growth, and I have felt so conflicted about that because I think I grew like 2,000 subscribers that month, and I'm so grateful for everyone who's found my channel it's just so sad that that is what it took to get people to watch Black creators. And then it's also been, it was like when it happened, I could feel that it was not going to be a lasting thing. Like, it was just disheartening to me to see so many Black creators' videos in which they talked about their trauma or their experience on YouTube get massive engagement. I mean, those videos were highly viewed, but then their other content, their fun content, did not have that same engagement, and it just makes me think, like, why do people show up for Black tears instead of Black smiles and Black joy? It gets old, and I would love to see that change. I'm so grateful for that growth, but I don't want to see growth happen like that again. But to end on a positive note, I think I did a lot better with reviewing this year. If I didn't have a video or mention a book in a video, there is almost positively a review on Goodreads, and so I was just very happy about that. Not only to be able to share my thoughts with you all, but I love having some thoughts down so I could look back on. I get so tired of wanting to know what I thought of a book from years ago and then I didn't write anything. It's not helpful. I'm now going to list 3 of my favorite videos that I made last year, and then I'm also going to highlight 3 of my favorite videos that I watched. So of my videos, I loved my defacing of Becoming, not just the art itself, but the video, and I had some like overlays of clips of Michelle, and it was really fun to edit that video and put it together. I loved the self-help video I did. That was easily the longest I've ever worked on a video on my channel. And then I also really enjoyed the like Halloween videos that I did, but particularly the review for Succulent Prey. That was fun. And then just 3, only 3, but there's so many more people and videos that I've loved. I have to start with QandTG. They are such a fantastic addition to YouTube. I mean, I adore their channel. I adore their content, the variety, their discussions with each other, and of course their editing. They have such great content, and their blindfolded book cover challenge has one of the best intros, and it's just so funny. It's genuinely one of my favorite videos, and you're missing out if you're not subscribed to them and if you haven't been watching them. I'd also like to highlight HyeJin from HyeJin Starlight. They just started, they're a Booktube newbie, and they did this like conspiracy video that I could not stop laughing at. It involved me and Cindy and like the Illuminati and just all of these, Sarah J Maas. Is just like a YouTube conspiracy video. And also Mina reads. Mina is such a light. I love her content and her thumbnails. She has gotten so good at doing her thumbnails, and I just love, she reads so much, and she is the person to go to for romance and fantasy. And you just, why wouldn't you subscribe to Mina, you know? Looking ahead, I guess these are some goals that I had. Looking ahead, I would like, of course, I think everyone wants to grow in a new year. I would love to see some growth that is like genuine growth, that's not as a result of like a social justice movement. I really don't want that to happen again. I really hope that doesn't sound ungrateful, but I'd rather it just happen on its own. Oh, I was just watching Jananie from This Story Ain't Over. I love her videos, by the way, and she talked about something that I absolutely related to so hard. She was talking about not rating her books. I have not rated the majority of the books that I read this year, and it's wonderful because unless it's like a raving 5-star where I absolutely know if the 5-star reflects how I feel about the book, or if it's like 1 star, like Girl Wash Your Face, which was my worst book of the year, I knew was a 1-star. Other than that, I don't leave stars because they never reflect how I feel. I feel like people look at the star and they have immediate assumptions about what I must have felt about the book, and it's not really reflective of how I feel. I'd rather just share what I liked, what I didn't like, and whether or not I'd recommend it to you. I feel like that's what matters in a review for me, and I just really enjoyed not leaving stars, and so I hope to continue with that. Like I said, I want to finish these series that I have begun, and I also set my Goodreads challenge at 12. I feel I'll go past that, but I don't like the stress of when it starts telling me that I'm like behind on books. I don't like that. So I'd love to know your reflections of 2020, what you're looking forward to for 2021, and yeah, I will see you in another video. Bye.